behind what it is that we do, and also the physiological and neurological benefits of having an intentional breathing practice. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, let me know after class. We can get you enrolled. Let's get started. Child's pose. Take your knees really wide on your mat. Toes come to touch behind you. And I'm going to bring around a couple of assisting cards here while we're getting started. This simply is going to let me know if you're interested in hands-on assists. And you can, of course, feel free to flip that from yes to no and no to yes as many times as you want. You're in control of your experience here. So start to create your breath. Our whole practice is a breathwork practice. We start with that full inhale. Notice the pause at the top. Full exhale. Notice the pause at the bottom. And those pauses are something we create, yes, but also something we organically find. So when you take your inhale, fill your lungs until there's no more room left. And then every time you exhale, empty out until there's no air left. And add in that secret sauce of the Ujjayi breath, the little constriction in the back of your throat. Move your tongue just a millimeter or two back until you create that sound, the one like you're intentionally fogging up a mirror. Very nice. Our practice of vinyasa in Sanskrit literally means to place things in a sacred way. So when we start with the breath, we place our movement within the container of the breath, and that's what makes this practice special. So take one more full breath in here. Exhale it out, downward facing dog. Take any movement here that you feel called to take, bending one knee and then the other. Take your hips side to side. Shake your head, yes and no, ending on a yes. Yeah, and just spend a few moments here getting the cobwebs clear. Our fascia does a really cool thing while we sleep and while we sit. It lays down extra proteins to strengthen everything around our joints. And then our job here within this first down dog is to start clearing those cobwebs away so we can get ready to move. Take 3 breaths here together. On an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bring them back down to the floor. Nice, lift them up. Exhale, back down. Last one, fill. Empty out. Feet to your hands, halfway lift at the top. Ragdoll, pull the pit of your belly all the way up and in. Start to feel some of that flow here. So where is your breath going on the inhale? And then what difference can you feel in this pose after the exhale? Press your feet down, sway side to side, do what you need to do. On your next inhale, we'll roll up all together, all the way to stand, extended mountain, hands at heart center. Here is your opportunity to decide how you're showing up for your practice, how you're showing up for each other, and maybe what vibes you want to take into the rest of your day. We'll create those here. And we'll seal those intentions with one Om together. Full breath in. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, step or hop back. Upward facing dog, fill up. Downward facing dog, empty out. 3 breaths in and out. 2 more. Press your hands down. Exhale it out. Feet to your hands, half lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Plant your hands. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Lift your heels. Nice. Bend your knees a little. Send your hips even further back. Last breath. Empty out. Feet to your hands. Half lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Your breath. Your movement. Different than your neighbors. Different than what I'm calling. You do you. Last inhale. Exhale it out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Feel the pause. Fold. Feel for the pause. Extended mountain. Get to the pause at the top. And fold. Empty out all the way to the bottom. Halfway lift. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Nice breath in. Empty out. 2 more. Last one together. Empty out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink low. Reach high. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Right side warrior 1. Use your whole inhale to get to the top. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way to the bottom. Upward facing. Down dog. Left side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, chaturanga. Yes, stay with it. Your breath. Full inhale. Full exhale. In together and out together. Last one here. Fill up and empty. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Take your gaze up between your fingers. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Drag your chest forward. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Take your gaze between your hands. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Down dog. Left side. Press your feet down. Chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog. Down dog. Breath in and out. 2 more. Fill and empty. Just like that. Last one. Empty out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink lower. Fold. Half lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. Inhale to the top. Feel the pause. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way to the bottom. Up dog. Down dog. Step your left foot forward on the pause. Inhale as you rise. Chaturanga as you exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Exhale. Lift your right leg up behind you. Press it past the back of your mat. Get super long here, so press your hands down. And more than height, we want length here. So get your foot all the way past the back of your mat, like you could kick the wall or the yogi down behind you. Bend your knee. Open your hip. Stay or flip. Place both feet on 12 o'clock here. Press down through your heels. Can you take your gaze all the way to your fingertips, maybe past your fingertips? Take one more breath. Both hands down, side plank, right side. Set this up with a knee down or a leg lifted. If the ankles are staying together, can you separate the heels just a little? Yeah, so press your big toe mounds together and then toward the back of your mat. Very nice. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Lift your left leg up behind you. Press it back. Now dial all 5 of those toes down towards your mat. So you're creating flat hips here. If we were to place a level on your low back, that bubble is going to stay right in the middle. Bend your knee. Now open up, stay or flip. Those of us staying here in the 3-legged dog, press your hands down and then press even more through your left hand. Yeah, can you lift your left knee up toward the ceiling just another inch? Last breath. Both hands down, side plank on your left. Take the knee down or the leg lifted. And now look down at your bottom hand. See that your wrist is parallel to the front of your mat and really spread both sets of fingertips here. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Clear it out. Crescent lunge, right side. Set up your lunge and then come down far enough right away that you've got that stretch happening along the front side of your hip flexor on the left. And then only you know how far down you need to come to feel that. Lift your pelvis up towards your sternum. Can you take your gaze to the ceiling? Nice, now come down lower in your hips. Take your gaze back 3 or 4 feet. What's there just beyond what you've deemed the edge in your pose? Yeah, we can reach for it here. We can look towards it, but no, there's always something there on the horizon. One more breath. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. Choose to take this with your knee down or your leg lifted. Yeah, and then with your left leg in the air, press the back of your thigh up toward the ceiling. Yes, into my hand. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to twist. 2 more like that. Lengthen. Twist it out. Lengthen. Stay. Crescent lunge. Warrior 2. Stay low in your front knee. So we say 90 degrees, and what we mean by that is your hips are the same height as your knee. Nice, now press through your big toe mounds on both feet. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, reach all the way back, extended side angle. Fingertips to your arch or to a block. And then reach your fingertips here all the way toward the windows. Yeah, so you've got one long line all the way from your heel to your fingertips. Bring them this direction. Yeah, stretch. One more breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Left side crescent lunge. Aren't we lucky that we have 2 sides and we get to do it all over again? Come all the way down in your lunge. Press your big toe mounds down. Nice. Now take a look at that front knee. We want it tracking straight over your middle toe. So for most of us, just press out into my hand. You'll want to take your leg a little bit further to the left. Perfect, right there. One more breath in to get tall. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. Whatever you're doing with your hands and your arms here, make it a meaningful part of the pose. So if the hands are together, press them together. Expand your chest and upper back. If you've got the arms wide, use that bottom arm to crank the twist open. Last breath in. Stay for the twist. Back to crescent lunge. Warrior two. Can you stay low? Really nice transition, Jen. Now everyone lift your back arm up to meet the front. When our drishti's pointed in one spot, sometimes it's really easy to forget the things that are behind us. Stay in that place where there's work happening, but you can find some ease here. Maybe that's just in your face. Press your fingertips out toward both sides of the room. Nice. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, extended side angle. Create that long line from the bottom or the back foot all the way to your fingertips. Nice. Now pull the front ribs into center. So you're really long. Like if you were in a toaster right now, you don't want your ribs or your bottom to be touching the heating elements. So can you bring it all in? Nice. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Sink down, reach high. Now you know that when we get to these twists, you're going to sink down 2 to 3 inches lower. So take it now. Hands to heart center, twist to your right. Look down at your knees here and see that they're in one straight line. Nice. For most of us, what happens is the left knee kind of starts to come forward. So can you pull the left hip back? Use your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Back to chair. And fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Take your peace fingers. Wrap them around your big toes. Take this for the rest that it is. Just as we create that pause in the breath, we create pauses within the practice so we can receive what's there for us. Receive the rest. Release your toes. Inhale, chair. Sit low, reach high. Press your heels down into the floor. Nice. Now lift the front of your pelvis up towards your sternum. Take your gaze between your fingertips. Hands to heart center, twist to your left. This time it's going to be that right knee that wants to start sneaking forward. Look down, see what's so. Nice. And then press your hands together. Bless you. Or really open the arms. Use the bottom arm to crank open the twist. Breath in. Exhale it out. Back to chair. And fold. Palms to toes, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Take what feels like rest. I know in my body, after the chair twists, bent knees does not feel like rest, so I straighten my legs a little. Choose what you need. Let the head be part of the pose. Drop it toward the floor. Release your toes, crow pose. Crow, goddess, flip your crow over into an inversion. Take crow on your bottom. Whatever is working for you this morning. Squeeze in and press out. The more strength we create right here at the center line, the more strength we have to radiate out to the distal parts of our body. Press your fingers down. Nice, one more breath. Step or hop back, chaturanga. Nice drop backs, up dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Exhale it out. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain, reach up, look up. Eagle pose on your right. Right arm under, right leg over. Have a seat. Put in those pillars right away of your drishti, your breath. Nice. And now bandhas. How can we press down into the floor here with our feet? Press down your big toe mound. Flex your lifted foot. Nice, switch sides on your exhale. Yeah, and if you can here, stick your drishti on that one spot and see how long you can look at it. Of course, the brain is going to want to wander and do something else, but keep bringing it back. That's the practice. Just like when we meditate and we have to keep bringing the brain back to the breath, the success is in catching it and then doing the work. Last breath. Switch sides, eagle on your right. Create your spine as long and tall here. So right behind your belly button, can you gather up all of those low abdominal muscles? Pull them in and pull them up. Nice navel to spine on every exhale. Airplane, send your right foot all the way back. Can unwind your arms, reach all the way back for your heel. Dial those toes down toward the mat. Nice. Open up, half moon. Keep that little bend in the standing knee. I know it feels super counterintuitive. Like, why do I want to bend my knee when this is the leg holding me up? Keep it there. That allows you to lift everything and get light for one more breath. Both feet to the mat. Very nice. Eagle pose on your left. Left arm under, left leg over. Have a seat. And as much as you can here with your attention, can you keep the belly pulled in? Just to engage the muscles. So we're not like sucking it in to get into like a pair of jeans here. We're just holding everything at center accountable for holding us upright. Keep that engaged, airplane. Take your drishti way out in front of your mat. Our body tends to go in the direction that we're looking. Half moon. Keep pressing through your lifted foot. Nice, and extend the leg. Take as much flexion out of your knee as you can. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. Inhale, extended mountain at the very top. Take dancer pose on your right. Grab for the inside of the right ankle. Notice that your soft part of your elbow is facing out to the right side of your mat, thumb toward the ceiling. Nice. Settle your drishti. Smooth out your breath. Can you still create those 2 pauses here? Nice. Now, graceful like a dancer, dance it on over to the left side. Stay nice and lifted. So, like, embody the dancer here. You know how ballerinas can find all of this space right between their hips and the bottom of the rib cage? See how long you can create it right there in your body. Nice. Gaze all the way out past the edge of your mat. 2 more breaths. You've got it. Both feet to the mat. Take tree pose on your right. Place your foot anywhere but the inside of the knee. Express the arms in any way that you choose. If there's something specific that you're working on here, maybe a little bit of a back bend in your tree or a bind behind the back, go ahead, take it on. No need to worry about, well, I can only hold that back bend for 2 breaths. Then come out of it and go right back in. It's yoga practice, not yoga perfect, so we let it get messy. Switch your feet, tree pose on the left. I love that. That means using whatever it is that you need to make this your biggest pose. I love we've got some yogis in the studio using the wall. Tori's showing us how to do this laying down. Get a real nice stretch for the inner thigh that way. Try out your tree pose that direction sometime. 1 more breath. And both feet to the ground. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Take up as much space as you can between your feet here. This is the base of your bottom part of this triangle. So the further apart our feet are, the easier it is to get the fingertips down toward the floor or to a block. And then create it in your body so all the length that you've worked so hard to create on the right side stays present here. So if that means taking your block to the highest setting or placing the fingertips on your shin, take that on. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Take an inversion here, take some lunges, take the stillness. Yogi's choice on what's needed here. Those of us getting upside down, pull your front ribs in toward the center. Nice. Now press through your heels, everyone, whether they're on the floor or in the air. Inversions, begin to make your way down. Get even in your side to side movement. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Take your mini warrior 1, hands behind your back in whatever bind that you choose. Pull your shoulders together on your back so they're headed up toward the ceiling. Nice. And then we're putting that level back on our hips here. So just notice where the bubble might be. For most of us, You might find taking your foot a little bit wider to be helpful. Yes, we can pull this right hip back. You got it. Straight hips. Twist your triangle. Left arm down, right arm to a T or toward the ceiling, or twist your split. Split, stay lifted all the way up through your chest. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. An extra beat here in the down dog. Yeah, just to give our splitting friends an opportunity to get there. That's never a graceful transition. Full breath in. Exhale it out. Step your left foot forward for triangle. Take up all the space, and then just like we did on the right side, create the left side of your body here as parallel to the floor. And then length over everything. So if the fingertips don't go all the way down to the floor, or the flexibility isn't there this morning to create that parallel line, at least make it a straight line. Very nice. Little bend in your front knee. Don't lock it out. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Yogi's choice. Take on another inversion, a bind behind the back. Stillness here at center. Bring your drishti back to your practice. So whether you're upside down here or moving side to side, find one spot to look at. On an inhale, come all the way back up. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Choose your bind and hinge forward. Feel that you can press down in both heels. Nice, and a little bend in the knee is going to make that happen. Pull the jawbone straight back towards your neck. Twist your triangle. If that back foot wants to come up for twisted half moon, allow it to do so. Press through your heel. Last big breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Clear it all the way out. Roll yourself out to a high plank. Pull the pit of your belly into your spine here. Yeah, knees down if that's needed. Send them way far behind your hips. Press your toes into the floor. To the count of 5, we lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Locust pose. Press down, lift up. Pull your belly button in and up like it doesn't want to touch your mat. Nice. If you're looking for a challenge, you can reach those arms forward. You've got 2 more breaths. Fill up and empty so you can fill up and empty. Lower down. Nice. Take your feet side to side. And take on locust pose number 2. Press your hips down. And then reach through the crown of your head. Pull your chin in towards your neck. So if I'm up here by the windows, all I want to see is the tops of everyone's head from here. Nice. One more breath. Lower all the way down. Bless you. Take your feet side to side. Floor bow. You choose one foot, both feet. If you typically grab the tops of your feet here, see if it's possible to grab your ankles or maybe grab for a strap to make the arms a bit longer so you can flex your feet here. Nice. Now press them up toward the ceiling, maybe even beyond the plane of your head. Love that, Donna. One more breath. Lower all the way back down. Feet side to side. Floor bow, second set, opposite foot or both feet again. Squeeze your knees together. Send your shins back. And we want the knees here, hips width distance apart or closer, so the back of the pelvis can remain open. Just prevents us from dumping into the lumbar spine. One more breath in. Lower all the way back down. Feet side to side. Hands at your lowest ribs, press down, upward facing dog. Stay here. Bent elbows at the top. Can you press the tops of your feet down? Maybe the thighs lift up off the floor. Nice. Pull your heart forward. Last inhale. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Knees down to the floor for camel pose. Set yourself up, shoulders over hips, hips over knees, hands in your imaginary back pockets, chest all the way to the ceiling. Nice. Now press your hands into that bony plate at your low back to retract your shoulders, making a little bit more room for fuller breath. On your next inhale, rise up and out, take downward facing dog. Lengthen your spine. This is the counter pose for the camel. We want to create length and strength here. Press down through your hands to send your sit bones up and back. Camel number 2, bring your knees all the way down, set yourself up, stacked one vertebra on top of the other. Take your camel. Hands can stay right where they are, or maybe they want to reach for your ankles. Look for the length here, no matter which direction you're going. So I've got my hand here, and y'all can pretend you've got this too, right between Allie's shoulder blades. And I'm going to press up and forward so she can almost lean back into my hand. Yes, all that length. One more breath. On the inhale, come up and out. Take your down dog. Stretch it all out. Get really long as you can. Breath in to lift your heels. Breath out. Step or jump forward, and we'll move all the way to a seat. So staff pose, feet out in front. Arms out in front like a mummy. Reach all the way up with the crown of your head and start to curl the bottom of your tailbone. On the inhale, stay. Exhale, curl down a little bit more toward the floor. Inhale, stay. Exhale, curl down a little bit more. This is the last one. Inhale, stay. Lower all the way down to your mat. Bridge pose. Knees to the ceiling. On an inhale, rise. Place your feet here on 12 o'clock so they're parallel to the sides of your mat. And we want to bring them hips width distance apart. So maybe even take your fingertips, feel where are my feet in space. On your exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Big breath in, big breath out. Second bridge. Then check out the feet here. For most of us, when we come back up into bridge, the toes splay out. Bring them back to parallel. Nice adjustments. Lower down on your next exhale. You have got 3 more back bends. Bridge or wheel, you decide. Press down, rise up, stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, big breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale, rise. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, full breath in, full breath out. Last one, best one. Inhale, rise. Bigger breath, stronger focus. Bring your toes into where they can touch my fingers. Just a little bit right there. Yes, press down. One more breath. Lower all the way to the floor. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles together, knees wide. Reorganize your breath here. Full breath in, notice the pause. Full breath out, notice the pause. Can you create it as so that on the first count of your inhale, you're taking in just as much breath as you are on the last count of your inhale? And then on the exhale, the amount of air you're expelling on the first count is the same as the amount of air you can expel on the last count. Yeah, so really smooth in and out. Dead bug. Choose whichever hold on your legs you need here to keep the hips on the floor. Rock side to side for happy baby if that feels like where you want to go. Feet all the way to the ceiling. On an exhale, we lower 30 degrees toward the floor. 30 degrees more. Hover them 2 inches above the mat. Squeeze your low belly in and up. Send your feet up. Exhale, lower a third way down. 30% more. Down toward the floor, lift your shoulders. Take a look at your toes. Yeah, wiggle them. Little flutter kick. Shift your vision however you can. Send them all the way back up. Exhale, lower 30. Pull your belly button in, 30 more. Hover 2 inches above the mat. Pendulum swing side to side. Low and slow. Send them back up. Hug your knees. Rock back and forth 3 times. We've got one big boat pose. No tricks. Come all the way up. And then you create your boat. Feet on the floor or lifted. Hands where they need to be for support. Lift your chest. Pull your jawbone straight back. Stay for 2 more breaths. Last one in. Hug your knees, rock back and forth. Make your way to right side half pigeon. On the back or on your belly. If you decide that you want to take this in the figure 4 shape on your back, you can always get more stretch there by reaching for another part of your leg. So this left leg, you could reach behind and grab for your thigh, or maybe even the front of the shin, depending on how much stretch you're looking for. Whichever direction you're facing, flex your right foot. And now the back foot, check it out, see what it's up to. Toes can be tucked, or the top of your foot can be on the floor. But we want to experience here that the knee is facing down toward the floor. Is there somewhere that you can let a little bit of tension go here? Switch sides. This time keeping the left foot flexed. And once you're settled, take some of your attention back to that back foot. So often, and I do this all the time in my practice, I kind of let that ankle just roll to the inside. So create it as so that your heel is moving toward the ceiling, or at least facing the ceiling. Yes, nice adjustment. What do you need to give up here to be a yes for letting gravity pull your hips to the floor? Swing your leg all the way around, seated single leg extension. Right leg extended, left leg comes in like tree pose. On the inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Take the bend in the knee that you need this morning or this afternoon. It is afternoon already, isn't it? Big bend, little bend. Work with the mobility that your body has in it today. Release your foot, switch sides. Rise up on the inhale, fold over on the exhale. Can you create your spine here as a little bit flatter? So you know the difference between the spine that we create in a forward fold versus the spine that we create in a pose like ragdoll. Can you create that forward fold spine here instead? Nice adjustments all across the room. Release your toes, seated forward fold, both legs together or out wide, your choice. Fold over on your exhale. Press your heels toward the front of your mat and send your sit bones back. Yeah, so we're creating here like we almost want to straighten our legs, but we're keeping at least a micro bend there. Micro bend is a weird word. So what do I mean by that? A micro bend, basically just that little bit of bend that you need so your legs aren't locking out. Release your toes. Bend all the way back. Take your tabletop. Take your reverse plank, whatever you normally do here. Soles of your feet into the floor. Lower all the way back down. Let's get upside down. You choose here. Feet above your hips, hips above your heart, however that's going to happen for you. Headstands, handstands, shoulder stands, waterfalls. Stack your feet directly over your hips. Nice. Now press through your heels. Send them to the ceiling. Shoulder stands. Can we walk our elbows in just a little bit closer to the center of the mat? Yes, nice adjustments. Now press those heels back up into the air. Pull your front ribs in over center, everyone. Nice. Full inversions. Take a few more breaths and make your way to a child's pose. Shoulder stands. Take plow. And then plow toward deaf yogi. Bring your knees down around your ears. Let your back get really round here. And using your arms as brakes, roll all the way out, one vertebra at a time toward the floor. When your hips get to the floor, hug your knees to center. Drop them to the right side for a supine twist. Arms out long. Roll your head to the side so your gaze is to the left. And breathe here through the left side of your rib cage. Like you could separate those ribs and feel them moving back toward each other on the exhale. Come back to center. Take your knees to the left. Roll your head to the side so your gaze is to the right. Sending your breath here into the right side of your rib cage. Come all the way back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, take your knees wide. Everyone in studio has a cold towel. Feel free to take advantage of that. Place it wherever you need it. Set up here for your Shavasana. So pull your shoulders underneath of you. Get the shoulder girdle as flat on the floor as it can go. Shavasana, legs out long and wide, arms out long and wide. Let your breath return to its normal, natural rhythm here. I'll share today's journey to the heart passage titled Embrace the Unknown. How boring it would be if we knew everything that was going to happen. And yet we're always trying to peek around the corner and see ahead. If we knew everything that was going to happen, we wouldn't need to experience it. There would be nothing to learn, nothing to explore, and not much to gain. We'd stay in our heads instead of living in our hearts. So often, it's the surprises of the moments and hours, the unexpected twists and turns that give meaning to the journey and make our lessons come alive for us. Know that you are connected to truth. You are connected to universal guidance, and you can trust and embrace that guidance. This means that you will get all the visions, all the guidance, all the advanced knowledge and wisdom that you need, but not too much to spoil the surprises, not too much to neutralize the lessons. When we're open, what we'll receive is just enough guidance to let us know that we're not alone. begin to deepen your breath. And bring some movement back to the body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. Circumduct your thumbs 360 degrees. Make your way toward a total body stretch. And hug your knees into center. Rock them over toward your right side for infant's pose. Land here. Press your left hand into the floor to rise to a comfortable seat. Eyes closed or drishti settled in front of your nose. On an inhale, we'll reach for the ceiling. Exhale, hands at heart center. Press your thumbs into your chest so you can feel the vibration, and we'll end with an Om together. Breath in. Om. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. We bow and acknowledge each other. Namaste. Great work, yogis. Thank you so much, Allison, and our online friends for joining us, for inviting us into your space. Good to have you. All right. Questions, comments, feedback, I'm here for it. If you're interested in signing up for Nick's workshop tomorrow, I can help you out with that. Again, that's from 2 to 4. And then there is a meditation workshop happening on the 21st. And our very own Ruby Lou Taylor is going to be leading it. Fantastic teacher. I'm sure you've all had her by now. And so it's going to be a good time. You're going to get the opportunity to learn what a meditation practice has in store for you. If you have a practice, maybe you'll learn something new that'll encourage you to keep practicing. And if you don't have a practice, maybe you'll find a meditation method that works for you. So I'd love to help you out with that as well. See y'all out front.